Greetings, fellow traders. Well, here it's time for the lunchtime market update for Friday, September the 4th, 2020. I hope everybody's having a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research. Everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. All right, let's try to see where we have the market here today. So SPX, red candle on the monthly chart here so far as we're 1 week into the month here. Weekly chart, again, turning into a bearish engulfing candle, not so good. We did fill the lower gap below and we kind of bounced off. We're kind of bouncing off of that level right here, so we'll see how that holds for the rest of the day. Again, daily chart here. What did we say yesterday, guys, on the live stream? If we break down below this trend box low, which gave us plenty of opportunity with the little gap up today, we could see a momentum move to the downside. And we saw that today, and we traded that nicely. Members did well on that one today as we walked through the SPY short using Elliott Wave and just kind of really showing how to get ideal entries on these. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit here. Let's take a look at the SPY and see how it's behaving here as well. Okay, right, so SPY, same thing, right? Momentum moved through the prior day's levels. Again, volume definitely not as high as it was yesterday, but we still have plenty of day left. So we'll see. For a week before a holiday weekend, we've really had some fun trading going on. So we'll see how that goes here today. Price action, again, like I said, we got short here after we broke down to the morning channel. We talked about that this morning on the a little bit briefly during the pre-market prep. Well, the one that didn't have the two audio tracks on at one time. We're like, okay, let's see how this looks here. Could this be it looks like we're channeling up. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a bear flag. Well, it did, but fortunately it was very, very tradable, right? So that bear flag was a nice move down right here for a quick momentum move. It looks like we're having a little bit of a rally area right here, so let's see how this holds. We're basically at a 50% retrace from earlier, right here to here, right? And so let's see how this holds right now. This is a very, very key area into the rest of the afternoon. So we're forming a doji right now on the 15-minute chart. Let's look at the S&P futures and let's show you what we looked at here this morning, how we refined our entries. If you go down to the 5-minute chart here, you can see what we liked once we broke down out of our geometric levels that we shared this morning on the public Twitter, right? We saw that this was really working on an impulsive move down. Now, when things are crazy, especially on a Friday and options are going all over the place, it's hard to chase, right? So in these cases, when you know that you're impulsing down, you can pull out Elliott Wave and look for these waves, right? So clearly this is a wave 1, wave 2, right? Wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So what we do is we look to short the pullbacks on these, the snapbacks on these, and we can see how that happened, right? So we get short here, right, and get a really, really beautiful move down, which cleared multiple levels here today. Right now we're kind of retracing off of a bigger wave, so we'll see how that goes right here. It looks kind of zigzaggish, right? So A, B, possible C up here, right? I really love the upper shadows that are forming right here on the ES. So nice moves off of these levels here. So let's see if this is the end of this corrective wave and we see another big impulsive wave down. So we just did another quick short here, and let's just kind of see how it holds and see where we get to. Let's take a look at the MES here for the just to take a look at the geometric lines again, just kind of see how they broke down, right? Triangle breakdown right here. Like we said, it ended up turning into a big bear flag, but once we lost, this was the bottom of the bear flag right here. Once we lost that, retested it and pushed down, it was game over for the open here today. So just a beautiful move to the downside. Members really, really enjoyed that walkthrough this morning. So good stuff with that. Let's take a look at the Qs and see how they're behaving as well. So again, they were pretty rough here as well. We actually we pointed out some shorts in the Qs as well, right? Very, very similar moves. We talked about the potential for a morning move, right? And we just kind of broke down below the same levels here. You can't see the pre-market levels on this, but very, very similar to what the ES was doing there with a bear flag type move. We're pulling back nicely right here now, so it's looking pretty good on the short side right here. We're coming into some key levels like VWAP, stuff like that. So let's see if we can get any some further movement to the downside. IWM. Okay, so IWM, same stuff, right? So it had a little bit channel up. It was a little bit perkier this morning, right? Had a nice gap up, and they really lost that gap on that one as well. So that made it a little bit challenging. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple. So Apple again, nice rally here, nice dip buy on this one today. It's here's the pre-market channel that we review with our members here, right? So we got all the way down here today, and they bounced off of the bottom of that channel here today for a nice move. And again, we're right here at some major crossroads right here, and it's pulling back as well. So this is working well here on this on the short side right now. Let's say we at Tesla. So Tesla, quite an epic move today, right? So a big push at the open. Members actually traded this at the open for a quick pop to the upside, right when it pushed through some key levels this morning here. You had a channel that it broke out, a couple other pivot levels, and gave a nice move like for a quick trade at the open, then a quick reversal at the market. And now we're testing this pivot level. It's kind of moving down a little bit here, but it did tick green for a little bit there this morning, which is pretty wild. So we had some nice stuff with that. A couple other ones. Let's take a look that were of note this morning is AMD. Again, just a relative weakness again in the semiconductors. This one looked like it tried to be strong this morning, but it rejected the 15 orb high and definitely rejected the 60 anchor level. So we got a nice down move on that one. We're retesting the 60 anchor levels here, and now pulling back to the 80 MA on that one. So again, just great short opportunities on these today. Netflix really kind of led the pack of the tech names this morning. This one just worked its way down very, very quickly here. Went red almost right away, and then gave a huge flush off of that one. So Netflix is a good one if you're playing stocks this morning on the downside. So good stuff. So we've got a couple of chart requests out there. So let's take a look at these. We've got, I really appreciate you guys sending those in. So we've got W. Okay, so Wayfair was definitely one that was on the bearish radar going into today. Nasty candle here. It broke below the trend line and gave a forceful move to the downside this morning. So right now it got basically past our target, and it's kind of bouncing off the cloud area, which we talked about last night. So let's see how that holds there going into tomorrow, but pretty nice stuff there. Big C gave a nice move here off of this pennant that we talked about. Right, nice momentum move to the downside as well, recovering a little bit right now. OSTK. Again, on the bearish radar too, after it broke down out of the trend box, right? So this is what we're seeing right now. Nice candle yesterday, broke below the 50-day moving average, and also gave a nice momentum move to the downside. So very, very nice there. BBY. Okay, so Best Buy again, kind of hanging there, same stuff, right? So it broke this resistance level, and then that dropped down to a little bit of a lower shadow here at this prior inside day level. So kind of see how that holds going into the rest of the day here. A couple other ones. We got Nikola. So Nikola is a good one too. Nasty candle here, gave a momentum move through those levels, but again, it's finding a little bit of support in that area. Zoom. Zoom is good. We have members that shorted this one too. We had some members that had some lottos overnight as well because they just really, really loved how it was going into this gap right here. This ended up being a great trade, right? Flush below the 80 MA today. Now it's kind of back at those levels, but really, really good stuff there. Plug. Okay, so Plug gave a quick move down, but it bounced off of this the area of the 50-day moving average on this one, kind of working its way back up into yesterday's range. So see how it holds. As long as it holds yesterday's lows, right? This is just kind of a big lower shadow to contend with going forward. But it had a nice up move this morning. I think it had an upgrade. So a nasty pullback, but let's see how it holds going in tomorrow. And Shell, of course, I think is a wild one. Again, when it has big breakout moves, right, a lot of times you can get big moves off of those next candles. This ended up being a spinning top, right? Reversal back down, and now we're kind of spinning, topping down. So wild price action on this one. But let's see how it closes today. Maybe it gives a big green hammer, and then it gets some follow through into next week. So good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your trading day. We'll catch you guys at the market wrap. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.